the chance to find out what Elon Musk tastes like. Although it won't be us who finds out. It'll be one of the alligators in Florida who finds out. One of those alligators guarding the perimeter of the new Alcatraz, the new prison for people awaiting deportation. I think you all already know about this prison. The thing is, Musk actually made a desperate move and announced the creation of his own political party, which will put an end to Trumpism and restore democracy in the United States of America. Trump has already hinted with some pretty heavy and significant hints, I'd say, at his strong temptation to potentially kick Elon Musk out of the United States for good permanently. So basically, while waiting for shackles and a one-way ticket to South Africa, the owner of Tesla could very well find himself on a tiny cot under the watchful eyes of hungry alligators in a new Alcatraz. And what happens next is predictable. Of course, after a couple of days, Musk will start losing his mind from the smell of 200 pairs of Puerto Rican socks and will make a dash across the swamp. How it ends is obvious. The alligator that eats Musk will be identified very quickly, even though Elon Musk has publicly published that well-known certificate unequivocally proving he's completely clean from any drugs. Excuse me, crocodiles generally do not read certificates, and after swallowing Musk, this crocodile will greatly amuse Will, make his fellow crocs laugh with his odd behavior, dancing on just his front legs, and all sorts of antics that happen to someone who swallowed a drug-containing creature. But perhaps this stone glutton, this alligator of Coswell, undoubtedly will be found out, will be killed, but not right away. They won't gut him immediately. Trump is a pretty good friend. He'll remember a lot of good things, recall Musk's involvement in many matters, and will let his friend, his old friend Elon, digest a bit longer. Still, it can't be ruled out that Trump is saving the crocodile for dessert. Right now, he'll try to outplay Musk and his political initiatives in a way that looks good with a veneer of legality. But really, this prolonged silence, this thoughtful, heavy silence from Trump should probably scare Musk more than anything else. But he filed the paperwork to register the America Party and promised a super fun time. Super fun time. At the same time, it must be said that Musk understands where he is and what the lockpicks and keys to the hearts of American voters are. In particular, he created an eerie, impressive fog of intrigue by hinting that in the party struggle and in his fight against Trump, he would use none other than the tactics of Epaminondas. The tactics of Epaminondas, which he used in the Battle of Leuctra. Well, naturally, all these clever words are enough to make the farmers of Arizona and the rappers of Harlem lose their minds. It's an incredibly sophisticated set of names. And for many people, it seems that what they don't know and don't understand is precisely what is true. And apparently, although Musk is familiar with the subject, I have to point out that his familiarity is poor, very poor. Epaminondas is from around, well, somewhere around the 400 SBC. That's all those years, like 370, 367 BC, and so on. He was a Greek, a Theban, a general, a terribly likable fellow, and a Pythagorean. When his cloak was being mended or washed, he had to stay at home because he didn't have another one. However, the Battle of Leuctra, which Elon Musk talks about for one, only because his hoplites managed to quickly and efficiently take out Cleombrotus, the Spartan king, and not at all because of some clever maneuver. Because very soon after the Battle of Leuctra came the Battle of Mantinea, where Epaminondas repeated this maneuver, but this time he himself was killed. And so in the end, the triumph once again did not happen. But of course, all this historical casuistry is enough to confuse the minds of American corn farmers and, well, black deportees or those at risk of deportation. All in all, he skillfully brought up Epaminondas. I think that perhaps more than one crocodile will be working on him for this. Well, the scenario with the crocodiles, I repeat, is still much more realistic than any serious political games. And those creatures, haven't you seen them? I've seen them, Florida, the Floridian alligators. It's absolutely pointless to tell them about Leuctra or even the entire history of the Peloponnesian War. But all of that is exactly the kind of nonsense that adds nothing to our knowledge or understanding of today's horror. It's just amusing, that's all. And it also reminds us that Musk is a big fan of smoke and mirrors, although that's already well known anyway.